Prunus mume is an Asian tree species classified in the Armeniaca section of the genus Prunus subgenus Prunus. Its common names include Chinese plum and Japanese apricot. The flower is usually called plum blossom. This distinct tree species is related to both the plum and apricot trees. Although generally referred to as a plum in English, it is more closely related to the apricot. The fruit of the tree is used in Chinese, Japanese and Korean cooking and juices, as a flavouring for alcohol, as a pickle and in sauces. It is also used in traditional medicine. The tree's flowering in late winter and early spring is highly regarded as a seasonal symbol. Origin: Prunus mume originated in the south of mainland China around the Yangtze River and was later introduced to Japan, Korea, Taiwan and Vietnam. It can be found in sparse forests, stream sides, forested slopes along trails and mountains, sometimes at altitudes up to 1,700 to 3,100 meters, and regions of cultivation. Description: Prunus mume is a deciduous tree that starts to flower in midwinter, typically around January until late February in East Asia. It can grow to 4 to 10 meters tall. The flowers are to 2.5 centimeters in diameter and have a strong fragrant scent. They have colors in varying shades of white, pink, and red. The leaves appear shortly after the petals fall, are oval-shaped with a pointed tip, and are 4 to 8 centimeters long and 2.5 to 5 centimeters wide. The fruit ripens in early summer, around June and July in East Asia, and coincides with the rainy season of East Asia, the Mayu. The drupe is to 3 centimeters in diameter with a groove running from the stalk to the tip. The skin turns yellow, sometimes with a red blush, as it ripens, and the flesh becomes yellow. The tree is cultivated for its fruit and flowers. Names: the plant is known by a number of different names in English, including Chinese plum and Japanese apricot. An alternative name is yume, from Japanese, or mume, from the scientific name. Another alternative name is mei, from the Chinese name. The flower is known as the meiyue in Chinese, which came to be translated as plum blossom, or sometimes as flowering plum. The term winter plum may be used too, specifically with regard to the depiction of the flower with its early blooming in Chinese painting. In Chinese it is called ma copyright I and the fruit is called ma copyright Z. The Japanese name is yume, while the Korean name is meisil. The Japanese and Korean terms derive from Middle Chinese, in which the pronunciation is thought to have been mu unregistered trademark I. The Vietnamese name is mai or may. Varieties: ornamental tree varieties and cultivars of P. mume have been cultivated for planting in various gardens throughout East Asia, and for cut blossoming branches used in flower arrangements. Chinese varieties: in China, there are over 300 recorded cultivars of Prunus mume. These are divided into 3 groups by phylogenetics. These are further classified by the type of branches, upright, pendulous, and tortuous, and by the characteristics of the flower. Some varieties are especially famed for their ornamental value, including the Hongmu, Tajame, Tsaohuimu, La 1/4 mu, Lonimu, and Chwazimu. As the plum tree can usually grow for a long time, ancient trees are found throughout China. Huangmu in Hubei features a 1,600-year-old plum tree from the Jin dynasty which is still flowering. Citation needed. Japanese varieties: in Japan, ornamental Prunus mume cultivars are classified into Yabe, Hibei, and Bungo types. The bungo trees are also grown for fruit and are hybrids between Prunus mume and apricot. The Hibei trees have red heartwood and most of them have red flowers. The Yabe trees are also used as grafting stock. Uses: culinary use juice. In mainland China and Taiwan, suanmaitang is made from smoked plums, called a mu. The plum juice is extracted by boiling smoked plums in water and sweetened with sugar to make suanmaitang. It ranges from light pinkish orange to purplish black in color and often has a smoky and slightly salty taste. It is traditionally flavored with sweet osmanthus flowers, and is enjoyed chilled, usually in summer. The juice produced in Japan and Korea, made from green plums, tastes sweet and tangy, and is considered a refreshing drink, also often enjoyed in the summer. In Korea, basil juice, which is marketed as a healthful tonic, is enjoying increasing popularity. It is commercially available in glass jars in sweetened, concentrated syrup form. It is reconstituted by stirring a small amount of syrup into a glass of water. The syrup may also be prepared at home by storing 1 part fresh plums in a container with 1 part sugar with no water. Liqueur, plum liquor, also known as plum wine, is popular in both Japan and Korea, and is also produced in China. Umeshu is a Japanese alcoholic drink made by steeping green plums in shakar. It is sweet and smooth. A similar liquor in Korea, called maesilju, is marketed under various brand names, including Meihwa-su, Mei-choi-sun, and Seoljun-mei. Both the Japanese and Korean varieties of plum liquor are available with whole plum fruits contained in the bottle. In China, plum wine is called meiju. In Vietnam, ripe plums are macerated in sticky rice liquor. The resulting liquor is called Ray Degree a pound mume. A brand selling plum liquor is Cien Tin. In Taiwan, a popular 1950s innovation over the Japanese-style plum wine is the Wamaiju, which is made by mixing P. mume liquor, P. salicina liquor, and oolong tea liquor. Pickled and preserved plums. In Chinese cuisine, plums pickled with vinegar and salt are called suanmeizi, and have an intensely sour and salty flavor. They are generally made from unripe plum fruits. Huanmei are Chinese preserved plums and refers to Chinese plums pickled in sugar, salt, and herbs. There are 2 general varieties, a dried variety, and a wet variety. Umeboshi are pickled and dried plums. They are a Japanese speciality. Pickled with coarse salt, they are quite salty and sour, and therefore eaten sparingly. They are often red in color when purple perilla leaves are used. Plums used for making umeboshi are harvested in late May or early June, while they are still green, and layered with salt. They are weighed down with a heavy stone until late August. They are then dried in the sun on bamboo mats for several days. The flavonoid pigment in perilla leaves gives them their distinctive color and a richer flavor. Umeboshi are generally eaten with rice as part of a bento, although they may also be used in makizushi. Umeboshi are also used as a popular filling for rice balls wrapped in edible seaweed. Makizushi made with plums may be made with either umeboshi or bainikyu, often in conjunction with green perilla leaves. A byproduct of umeboshi production is umeboshi vinegar, a salty, sour condiment. A very similar variety of pickled plum, zamua and registered trademark ioramai is used in Vietnamese cuisine. The best fruit for this are from the forest around the He Degree Ng Pagoda in Ha Ta Sent Y province. Sauce, a thick, sweet Chinese sauce called meijiang or meizijiang, usually translated as plum sauce, is also made from the plums, along with other ingredients such as sugar, vinegar, salt, ginger, chili, and garlic. Similar to duck sauce, it is used as a condiment for various Chinese dishes, including poultry dishes and egg rolls. Medicinal use Prunus mume is a common fruit in Asia and used in traditional Chinese medicine. It has long been used as a traditional drug and healthy food in East Asian countries. A recent study has indicated that Prunus mume extract is a potential candidate for developing an oral antimicrobial agent to control or prevent dental diseases associated with several oral pathogenic bacteria. Recent studies have also shown that Prunus mume extract may inhibit Helicobacter pylori, associated with gastritis and gastric ulcers. Experiments on rats suggest that P. mume extract administered during endurance exercise training may enhance the oxidative capacity of exercising skeletal muscle, and may induce the muscle to prefer fatty acids for its fuel use rather than amino acids or carbohydrates, thus assisting endurance. Cultural significance: plum blossoms have been well loved and celebrated across East Asia. Chinese the plum blossom, which is known as the Liqueur, is one of the most beloved flowers in China and has been frequently depicted in Chinese art and poetry for centuries. The plum blossom is seen as a symbol of winter and a harbinger of spring. The blossoms are so beloved because they are viewed as blooming most vibrantly amidst the winter snow, exuding an ethereal elegance, while their fragrance is noticed to still subtly pervade the air at even the coldest times of the year. Therefore the plum blossom came to symbolize perseverance and hope, but also beauty, purity, and the transitoriness of life. In Confucianism, the plum blossom stands for the principles and values of virtue. More recently, it has also been used as a metaphor to symbolize revolutionary struggle since the turn of the 20th century. Because it blossoms in the cold winter, the plum blossom is regarded as one of the three friends of winter, along with pine and bamboo. The plum blossom is also regarded as one of the four gentlemen of flowers in Chinese art together with the orchid, chrysanthemum, and bamboo. It is one of the flowers of the four seasons, which consist of the orchid, the lotus, the chrysanthemum and the plum blossom. These groupings are seen repeatedly in the Chinese aesthetic of art, painting, literature, and garden design. An example of the plum blossom's literary significance is found in the life and work of poet Lin Bu of the Song dynasty. For much of his later life, Lin Bu lived in quiet reclusion on a cottage by West Lake in Hangzhou, China. According to stories, he loved plum blossoms and cranes so much that he considered the plum blossom of Solitary Hill at West Lake as his wife and the cranes of the lake as his children, thus he could live peacefully in solitude. One of his most famous poems is Little Plum Blossom of Hill Garden. The original Chinese text as well as a translation follows. As with the literary culture amongst the educated of the time, Lin Bu's poems were discussed in several Song dynasty-era commentaries on poetry. Wang Zhongqing remarked after quoting the third and fourth line, "This is from Lin Hojing's, Lin Bu's, Plum Blossom poem." Yet these lines might just as well be applied to the flowering apricot, peach, or pear. A comparison of the flowers with a plum blossom, to which the renowned Song dynasty poet Su Dongpo replied, "Well, yes, they might. But I'm afraid the flowers of those other trees wouldn't presume to accept such praise." Plum blossoms inspired many people of the era. Legend has it that once on the 7th day of the first lunar month, while Princess Shuyang, daughter of Emperor Wu of Liusong, was resting under the eaves of Hanshang Palace near the plum trees after wandering in the gardens, a plum blossom drifted down onto her fair face, leaving a floral imprint on her forehead that enhanced her beauty further. The court ladies were said to be so impressed that they started decorating their own foreheads with a small delicate plum blossom design. This is also the mythical origin of the floral fashion, mume, that originated in the southern dynasties and became popular amongst ladies in the Tang and Song dynasties. Princess Shuyang is celebrated as the goddess of the plum blossom in Chinese culture. During the Ming dynasty, the garden designer Ji Cheng wrote his definitive garden architecture monograph Yani, and in it he described the plum tree as the beautiful woman of the forest and moon. The appreciation of nature at night plays an important role in Chinese gardens. For this reason there are classical pavilions for the tradition of viewing plum blossoms by the moonlight. The flowers are viewed and enjoyed by many as annual plum blossom festivals take place in the blooming seasons of the Mayua. The festivals take place throughout China. Plum blossoms are often used as decoration during the Spring Festival and remain popular in the miniature gardening plants of the art penjing. Branches of plum blossoms are often arranged in porcelain or ceramic vases, such as the Maiping. These vases can hold single branches of plum blossoms and are traditionally used to display the blossoms in a home since the early Song dynasty. The Moyat lineage of Wing Chun Kung Fu uses a red plum flower blossom as its symbol. The plum blossoms are featured on one of the four flowers that appear on mahjong tile sets, where Mary is usually simply translated as plum in English. The national flower of the Republic of China was officially designated as the plum blossom by the Executive Yuan of the Republic of China on July 21, 1964. The plum blossom is symbol for resilience and perseverance in the face of adversity during the harsh winter. The triple grouping of stamens on the national emblem represents Dr. Sun Yat-sen's three principles of the people, while the 5 petals symbolize the 5 branches of the government. It also serves as the logo of China Airlines, the national carrier of the Republic of China. The flower is featured on some new Taiwan dollar coins. Korean equals. In Korea, the plum blossom is a symbol for spring. It is a popular flower motif, amongst other flowers, for Korean embroidery. Maebyong are plum vases derived from the Chinese maiping and are traditionally used to hold branches of plum blossoms in Korea. Japanese equals, plum blossoms are often mentioned in Japanese poetry as a symbol of spring. When used in haiku or renga, they are a kigo or season word for early spring. The blossoms are associated with the Japanese bush warbler and depicted together on one of the 12 suits of Hanafuda. Plum blossoms were favored during the Nara period until the emergence of the Heian period, in which the cherry blossoms was preferred. Japanese tradition holds that the yume functions as a protective charm against evil, so the yume is traditionally planted in the northeast of the garden, the direction from which evil is believed to come. The eating of the pickled fruit for breakfast is also supposed to stave off misfortune. Vietnamese equals, in Vietnam, due to the beauty of the tree and its flowers, the word mai is used to name girls. The largest hospital in Hanoi is named Park Mai, another hospital in Hanoi is named Mai Hong, situated in Hong Mai Street. Oang Mai is the name of a district in Hanoi. Park Mai is also a long and old street in Hanoi. All these places are located in the south part of Hanoi, where, in the past, many mume trees were grown. See also, Chinese garden, Chinese cuisine, Korean cuisine, Japanese cuisine, Prunus salicina. Notes. External links: China Online Museum, Chinese Plum Blossom, NPGS Grin, Prunus mume information, NDSU, A Good History, Prunus mume, USDA plant profile for Prunus mume.